We're going to get started. If the board members could all please make sure you have your microphones on. Ready? Good evening. The hour being 6:30 PM on Monday, July 8th, 2024. I'd like to call to order the Village of Brookfield Board meeting. Would everyone please join me in a pledge of allegiance to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Bridget, can we have a roll call, please?
Trustee Ketchmark?
Here.
Trustee Cote?
Here.
Trustee Hendricks?
Here.
Trustee Niramatsu?
Here.
Trustee Kaluzny?
Here.
Trustee Gahuli is absent, and President Garvey.
Here. Thank you, Bridget. We do have a recognition tonight, a recognition of a staff member of the Village of Brookfield that we are very proud to recognize tonight. Sebastian Blanco has been an employee of the Village of Brookfield since May of 2023. He's in his second summer with the Parks and Recreation Department as a camp counselor, leading the Camp Great participants at S.E. Gross Middle School. Coming out of the IHSA speech and debate competition in February of this year as the state runner-up in radio, followed up by the IHSA state journalism competition in April as the state champion in broadcast radio, Sebastian qualified for the national speech and debate competition taking place June 17th through the 21st in Iowa. The national tournament hosted 6,700 competitors from 1,500 different schools across the nation. Sebastian competed in expository speaking, an event in the National Speech and Debate Association where students give informative speeches without visual aids. The goal of an expository speech is to educate the audience by providing clear and concise information on a topic of the speaker's choice without trying to persuade them or share personal opinions. Speakers must memorize their speeches and are not allowed to use notes or other prompts. Sebastian's unique written piece called Mua earned him the national champion title, awarded to only other 41 individuals in their respective events across the nation. Sebastian's national champion title in the speech and debate competition is a result of the hard work, focus, and dedication he applied. The village is very proud to call Sebastian one of our employees, most especially as it relates to his position serving as a role model and leader to our youth residents. So please join me in congratulating Sebastian. And I would ask Sebastian to come forward. I have a little certificate that I want to present to him. And then in a second, I'm going to bring his family up because they did come out to support him today and give him, Sebastian, if you could step over here. Congratulations again. Very proud of you. I told him he got smarter after he started working with the village. I think he was kind of smart to begin with. But the certificate of recognition reads, the certificate is presented to Sebastian Blanco. The certificate is awarded to Sebastian Blanco to recognize the national championship in expository speaking at the National Speech and Debate Tournament, exemplifying the type of character and hard work the Village of Brookfield is proud to have on our team working as staff leader with our youth population. Myself and the village clerk signed it, so I'd like to present it to you. Could come up, including his mom. I'm going to get one with the family, and I'll step out and let the whole family get pictures. Bridget, can you reach into my drawer and see if there's one? So let's look at Tim first. I'm Tim.
One more.
Okay.
I don't have my glasses on.
Thank you. Okay, let's stay up and why don't you take one without me, just.
Is that the logo?
Thank you.
Here you go. Congrats.
Part of the.
Congratulations. You get the same benefits everyone else has. You don't have to stick around for the rest of the meeting if you,
He's already up.
you probably had a long day at camp. Okay, that ends the items we have under appointments and presentations. I will now open it up to public comment. Is there anyone on this side of the room that would like to make any public comment? Mrs. Dufek, are you able to come up, or? Okay, just if you could speak as loud as you can. It's Marie Dufek for the record.
Marie Dufek, 3825 Arden Avenue. I don't know if Kit is experiencing what's happening at the Hollywood Railroad tracks, but many of the neighbors and I, if we're crossing either way, going south or north, the tracks come down and there's no train. It's maybe a minute or two, and if you look to the Brookfield station, there's a passenger metro train there, and the gates go up. Now, I'm also experiencing over a 15-minute wait with freight trains. I go to exercise Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I have to leave 20 minutes earlier so I can get into Riverside. I talked to somebody working from the Burlington, and they said you have to approach your village. I said, isn't there a time limit? How long those tracks can be delayed? And he said you have to approach your village on that.
Okay. Well, thank you for pointing it out. I'll have staff check with the railroad, but as powerful as it may seem like we are, we do not have any control over the railroad, the length of trains, the gates, or anything else. So we'll reach out to our representatives at Burlington. Sometimes there's construction in other areas that slow down trains. As the gates are down, I mean, obviously, you're not going to go around the gates. You're going to be safe. We're sorry for any inconvenience, but we'll have staff look into it, okay?
Well, you know, I live on the south of the tracks. Oh, I can get off on First Avenue, but I can't make a left-hand turn going into Riverside. I have to make a right-hand turn, go to Lyons, over the bridge, and then
I understand the inconvenience, and if there was something we could do about it, we really can't control or regulate trains and train safety, so we'll reach out.
who is in charge of First Avenue and Wabansie, not making a left-hand turn? Is that Riverside?
I believe it would be the Village of Riverside. It might be IDOT prohibiting a left turn onto First Avenue, but it's not our control, so,
It's not Brookfield.
yes. Okay? Thank you, Mrs. Dufek. Anyone else on this side have any public comment? Yes, ma'am, right here in the black shirt. If you could make it up to the microphone, we'd appreciate it. Everyone could hear a little bit better. Mrs. Dufek, I know, has a leg issue, so.
Hi, my name's Lori O'Malley. I live in 4100 block of Park Avenue. I don't know if any of you are aware of the incidents that happened on Saturday with a party rental at the venue on Ogden.
Yes.
Okay. I did snap a few pictures. My husband went out after the fact and cleaned up a whole garbage bag of garbage that these people left. And I totally understand that that's beyond the venue's control. You know, somebody's sitting in their car in front of my house eating chicken and then throwing it under the bag of garbage under the car. But we witnessed the same groups of people back and forth for 3 to 4 hours, mixing cocktails out of the back of their cars, and then going back to the venue with their solo cups.
Okay. We were aware of an incident that large crowds, the police department was aware, there were officers on scene for over 3 hours.
Yes.
They did not witness any alcohol violations themselves. They were actually shown quite a bit of cooperation by the owner and operator of the establishment. Our staff was allowed to go inside and verify. Our police officers did not observe any alcohol inside or any capacity violations, and the owners of the establishment did assist in dispersing the crowd as the event was over. So we felt, we were very well aware of what was going on. but there was no specific violations that we could attribute to anybody. Our officers did not view anything. If you have pictures, which if you want to share them with Chief Curavilla, or he'll get your information, and you know, we continue to watch the situation, but we had 2 officers sitting there for over 3 hours due to the size of the crowd.
Oh, I did see them back and forth,
Right.
the police. Unfortunately, they weren't passing by at the time these people were in the backs of their cars.
that tends
mixing
to
their
happen.
drinks. But I've got pictures of the bottles and beer cans that they left behind.
And again, that's,
Yeah.
you know, we've had that situation with other establishments too, what people, you know, I wish we could legislate decency and, you know, respect of other people's properties in the neighborhoods. But, you know, this is an establishment that has been very clearly told what's allowed and what's not allowed, and we feel that they complied with everything they were supposed to be doing, and they did cooperate with us and let us in to observe.
So is alcohol not allowed there?
They are not, they know they're not allowed to serve alcohol, they're not allowed to have people bring in alcohol, and our officers did not observe anybody with alcohol inside.
Okay. They had
So
red
the
Solo cups,
the
so
unfortunate,
that's why.
as we're well aware, things happen outside of establishments, happens in parks and everything else where people have alcohol where they're not supposed to. But, you know, if our officers see something, they're gonna try and do something about it. But I appreciate you coming out, and if Chief Curavilla could get your information, just for going forward, we're gonna continue to watch the situation.
Sure. All right, thanks.
It's good to see you. Yes, ma'am?
I am Maria Robles, and I experienced the same situation on Saturday. I am in 4123 Park Avenue, and I am so sorry the officers didn't see anything, because I went myself and I had to pick up a lot of trash. There was containers of Chipotle food and a bunch of those red cups. And while we don't have any problems with people having businesses in our community, I think they need to be respectful of the people that live in the community. And maybe they need to, I don't know if it's allowable to tell them, to their renters, that if they are going to leave a mess, then maybe they need to charge them more to clean up, because we shouldn't have to go and clean after them. We don't want to live in a filthy community. So we had to go and clean up, and several of us neighbors were cleaning out there.
I agree. We're very familiar with the owners of this establishment, and they've been made very clear what their obligations are. I don't believe they had any guilt or culpability in any of this, and, you know, they did clean up the immediate area outside. Maybe, you know, if they're aware what happened down the block, maybe in the future, if there's another event, they would do something like that, but.
And maybe they need to have security watching what happens in the surrounding areas, because we couldn't even get into our houses. There were so many cars that we couldn't get into our street. And after that, they just left us mess.
Yeah.
And that's not okay. And I understand it was a funeral. I respect everybody's right to celebrate life any way they want to, but they also need to respect us.
You're correct. Thank you for coming out tonight. Is there anyone else on my right side that would like to say anything? Anybody on my left side that would like to say anything? Okay, thank you. Hearing no further public comment, I'd like to move on to reports of special committees, please. Trustee Cote?
I would like to make a motion to approve corporate warrant dated July 8th, 2024, and the amount of $1,448,514.43.
Second.
The motion was made by trustee Cote, second by trustee Kaluzny. Any highlights?
This one covers a lot of the events that are for the summer, the concerts in the park, Camp Kiwanis trips, music on Grand, et cetera.
Thank you. Do any board members have any questions or comments related to the warrant? Okay, seeing none, roll call, please.
Benchmark?
Aye.
Trustee Cote?
Aye.
Trustee Hendricks?
Aye.
Trustee Nearmatsu?
Aye.
Trustee Kaluzny?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Regards to DPW, we had a great past couple of weeks. I'd like to thank the Department of Public Works for all the work and preparations they've done for the concerts in the park, the music on Grand, the setting up and taking down everything for the 4th of July parade and the festivities after. So if you see a DPW worker around town, please give them a wave and a thank you if you do see them, for all their hard work. If you do have something that you wish to be attended to by Department of Public Works, the best way to get something to them is via the C-Click Fix program. You can download this app on your phone, and you can take a picture of the location. It'll give you spot you, I lost the word, but It'll put the location for you in the phone, so they'll find out where it is easily. So that is the best way to get something sent over to Department of Public Works. In regards to the library has several events and activities in preparation for July 24th Chicago Grit Race, which is coming to Brookfield. The activities include a film screening, bike decorating, race sign making, race day watch party, and you can find out more on their website. They're also teaming up with the Greater Food Depository that offer free lunch to any person under the age of 18 from noon until 1 through August 16th. Don't forget to sign up for their summer reading challenge to win a grand prize for kids, teens, and adults. You complete the challenge and you earn raffle tickets from June 1st through August 15th, and the grand prize drawing will be on August 16th. If you are a veteran and you are looking for mental health assistance, you can do so at the Jesse Brown VA Medical Center. You can call 312-569-6177. If you are struggling or you know somebody who is struggling, please call 988. If you are a veteran and you're calling about a veteran, please call 988 and choose option 1. The VA itself has a national coaching and care program where they have licensed psychologists, social workers who will talk to you by phone free of charge and help you through the VA system. To speak to one of these VA coaches, you can call 888-823-7458. There are other resources via the VACC, the Veterans Affairs of Cook County, and you can find out more by going to our village website to the community tab, and you can get a link to the VACC website from there. If you do not have a computer, you can go to the library and they will allow you to use their computer to do the same thing. That concludes my report.
Thank you very much, Trustee Cote. Trustee Gahuli is not here this evening. Trustee Hendricks, anything with planning and zoning?
Yes, the PZC saw 4 different cases on the 27th, which will be coming before us. The first was a massage establishment special use request for an establishment on Broadway. There was a special use request for joint parking at Blue Water Lounge on 31st, a special use request for indoor assembly for a children's playroom on Monroe adjacent to the loft, and a final planned development review for 8845 Burlington, which all will be coming back to us at our next committee of the whole.
Thank you, Trustee Hendricks. Our Planning and Zoning Commission has been very busy.
Thank you.
Trustee Ketchmark, Administration, Economic Development?
Economic Development Commission meets next Wednesday, the 19th. I will report back after that.
Thank you. Trustee Naramatsu, Parks and Recreation?
Yeah, I think the Parks and Rec Department is giving a big sigh of relief this week after a great 4th of July event. And I just want to thank all of the Parks and Rec Department staff and the fire department and the police department and all the village staff who made that such a success. It was really fun. I was out there for Party in the Park. Everything seemed to run really smoothly. So yeah, and the first Music on Grant event I think went well too. I was not able to attend, but I've heard some really great positive feedback that was really well attended. So just thank you all for all your work in that. The Stars Before and After School program has opened for registration as of June 24th, so registration for that is ongoing through the summer. And that's for, I think, D95, D96, and 103. There is a concert in the park this Friday at 7 featuring the Marjays, which is a classic rock band. And for Ellett Park, the bid opening is beginning on Wednesday, July 10th at 2 p.m. For Foundation, Brookfield Parks and Rec Foundation, we are still selling ducks at farmers markets and other events. We are about halfway through our goal of 3,000 ducks sold. We have about 1,500. I wanted to announce that the Women's Club is raffling off a Yeti Tundra cooler. It's for folks who buy a duck at the car show coming up. I think it's July 16th. No, that can't be right. I'll have to get back to you on that. At the car show. So come out and buy ducks and hopefully win a Yeti cooler. And I just want to thank Mary Biscossel and Patty Chimura and the Women's Club for manning all these events to sell ducks and for publicizing the race. Our next meeting is July 16th at 6:30 at Village Hall. That ends my report.
Thank you. Trustee Kaluzny, Conservation and Beautification?
Yes, the Conservation Commission met a couple of weeks ago. They discussed some final feedback received at their joint parks meeting, Parks and Conservation Commission meeting around South Kiwanis. We talked about next steps for that process, and that should be coming before the village board at a future committee of the whole, likely late August or early September, as they finalize some of their plans with the National Park Service and bring a presentation to us. There was some conversation about, just updating the board on the process so that we're aware of it going into budget season. We also are planning Meet the Creek on September 21st, our kayak and canoe event on the creek. It should be really exciting from 12 to 4 that day. I'll keep giving more updates as we get closer to the event, but make sure to save the date. If you know anyone that has not met the creek by kayak or canoe, they can do it for free that day. And then their next meeting is on July 23rd at 6:30 p.m. here at Village Hall. The Beautification Commission has not met since our last meeting, but they are meeting tomorrow night, July 9th at 6:30 p.m. here at Village Hall. And that ends my report.
Thank you. There's no update on the Solid Waste Agency or WCMC. They've not met since our last meeting. As I indicated, I'm going to schedule the meeting with the Brookfield Zoo regarding their master plan and individual showing for some elected officials, but we will schedule a time for them to come in front of the village board. I did want to add my thanks to everyone who had a role in the 4th of July celebration. Trustee Nerematz, who did a great job of acknowledging everyone, but as I said, this thing doesn't happen. It took weeks and weeks of planning, and also all the volunteers that were out there, the traffic control and helping, and people are setting up all day, giving us their 4th of July to help make it a safe and fun event. So thank you to all the volunteers also. And I just wanted to update everyone. We did recognize the girls, Brookfield Little League Girls Majors All-Star Team for winning the district title at the Party in the Park on the 4th. They did go to the state tournament. They are actually currently at the state tournament in beautiful Rushville, Illinois. They did win their first 2 games big. Unfortunately, they did lose today, but it's just a bracket play. They do play Clarendon Hills tomorrow, so they're still alive, and hopefully they will continue to advance on to the state championship like they did last year, so I'll keep everybody posted. So congratulations to the girls. That ends the reports at this point. I'd entertain a motion to pass the omnibus agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by trustee Cote, second by trustee Kaluzny. Roll call, please.
Trustee Ketchmark?
Aye.
Trustee Cote?
Aye.
Trustee Hendricks?
Aye.
Trustee Nerematsu?
Aye.
Trustee Kaluzny?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. And I'd just like to note, in that omnibus agenda was the cancellation of the August 12th, our first village board meeting in August. We typically take one meeting off to give the board a chance to have a summer vacation. We will call a special board meeting if necessary, so there will not be a meeting on the August 12th at this time. Moving on to the items under regular business, I'd entertain a motion to pass an ordinance to waive the competitive bid process and a resolution to award an agreement to Five Star Energy Solutions for replacement of 19 lead water services in the amount of $166,135.
So moved.
Second.
The motion was made by, I'm sorry, trustee Cote?
Yes.
Second by trustee Ketchmark. Derek, can I just have you, Derek Trickles, our village engineer, can you just explain what the recommendation is here and why for the audience more than the board? But
Sure. So we have, we're trying to get out in front of a couple of capital improvements projects that we have going on next year. We have the streetscape and resurfacing that's on Grand Boulevard, the 3700 block, also on Brookfield Avenue from Prairie to the east, and it does run up Woodside as we go north from Brookfield Avenue. We have 19 lead water services that have been identified on those streets. We could not include those in the IEPA low-interest loan because we only had about 2/3 of the area village qualified at the time with our last project plan, where we can include those in our EPA low-interest loans. We had very attractive bids, as we all know, so what we looked at doing was a change order first, but we didn't want to do a change order with the low interest loan and muddy the water, so we suggested soliciting a proposal from the low bidder, Five Star Energy Services, to do these 19 water services, and they are doing them at the unit prices that they bid on our contract.
Thank you, Derek. Do any board members have any questions or comments regarding the resolution?
Do we know when the work might be done? Are we going to be interfering with Music on Grand or with the bike race or any of these things?
No, we're gonna schedule, it's been discussed, and it'll be scheduled around there. I don't know exactly when the work, I think we discussed in August or later, I believe, and I think we're gonna get it. Whenever they schedule it, everything needs to be patched and restored prior to the concerts.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Derek. Any other questions of Derek? Do the board members have any other questions or comments related to this? Okay, hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Ketchmark?
Aye.
Trustee Cote?
Aye.
Trustee Hendricks?
Aye.
Trustee Narmatsu?
Aye.
Trustee Kaluzny?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, the last item we have under regular business, I'd entertain a motion to pass resolution for construction engineering services agreement for the 2025 water main improvements to Hancock Engineering in the amount of $397,200.
So moved.
Second.
The motion was made by trustee Kaluzny, second by trustee Naramatsu. This is for the 2025 water main improvements. We're asking Hancock to start the design engineering now, so we'll be ready to go out to the bid in the fall to get the competitive prices, to get the best prices, and this work will be in spring of 2025. Any questions or comments from the board? Okay, hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Ketchmark?
Aye.
Trustee Cote?
Aye.
Trustee Hendricks?
Aye.
Trustee Narmatsu?
Aye.
Trustee Kaluzny?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you. That ends the items we have under regular business for the village board agenda. Tim, do you have anything with the manager's report?
Just one quick item. Thank you, President Garvey. A little piece of good news. We were just informed today that we received a grant from the Morton Arboretum. As the board may recall, we talked about this a little bit at the budget workshop. We approved about $35,000 in the budget to do a public parkway tree inventory, and then integrate that into our GIS systems so that we will have, once and for all, a digitized record of the type of trees, where they're planted, the condition of them, and so forth after the end of this survey. And the Morton Arboretum just awarded us almost $19,000 in funding. So it's going to pay for more than 50% of the cost related to this tree inventory. So we're thankful to them and happy. And thank you, Vince, for applying for the grant.
Thank you, great job. Okay, that ends the items we have on the village board agenda, so it's 6:58 PM. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn the village board meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by trustee Cote, second by trustee Kaluzny. Roll call, please.
Trustee Ketchmark?
Aye.
Trustee Cote?
Aye.
Trustee Hendricks?
Aye.
Trustee Narmatsu?
Aye.
Trustee Kaluzny?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Okay, the board meeting's adjourned at 6:58. We'll just need a few minutes before